My wife told her family I was abusive to cover up her infidelity, and her brother attacked me at the cookout. I'm 33, and I was married to my wife, 27, for almost 3 years. We were together for about 4 years before that. I wouldn't say our relationship was a perfect fairy tale, it was a pretty normal one. We had our arguments like any couple, but nothing over the top, nothing violent, nothing toxic, just regular marriage stuff. Anyway, her family throws a big cookout every summer. At her parents' house, backyard full of folding chairs, kids running around, a Bluetooth speaker blasting country music, the whole 9 yards. Just burgers, beers, and hanging out. I was running a little late because I had to work that morning, but I showed up like always, with a case of beer and a giant pasta salad her mom likes. I walk in, start saying hi to everyone, and immediately something felt off. You know when you walk into a room and you can just tell people are looking at you weird, right? Her brother didn't even acknowledge me. Normally he's the first one to hand me a beer and talk sports, but this time he just glared at me like I wasn't there. Some of her cousins were giving me the cold shoulder too. I figured maybe they were drunk or there was some family drama I didn't know about and the mood was off, so I didn't think much of it at first. I tried to brush it off, grabbed a plate, and started eating. Then, halfway through the cookout, when everyone was standing around the patio talking, her brother just walks up to me and shoves me hard. Caught me completely off guard, almost knocked the plate out of my hands. Then he gets right in my face, yelling that he's sick of me hurting his sister and that he's not afraid to step up to me. I'm standing there thinking, what the hell is going on right now? Everyone was staring. A few people tried to pull him back. Her dad was holding him back. Her uncle stepped between me and him. I'm just standing there with my hands up because I'm not about to punch my wife's brother at his parents' cookout. I'm not an idiot. One wrong move and I'm the bad guy. Even if I didn't start it, the whole thing turns into a huge scene. Kids crying, her mom screaming. I just said screw it, set my plate down, and left. Got in my truck and drove off because what else was I gonna do? Stick around for round 2. My wife wasn't even there because she'd texted me earlier that she was running late. I also tried to ask her brother what was going on, why he was acting that way, but nope. That night I was at my brother's house, still trying to wrap my head around what the hell just happened, and I'm blowing up my wife's phone. She ignored me for hours. Finally, around midnight, she answers, crying, sobbing, doing the whole I'm so sorry act. I'm like, what is going on? Why is your entire family acting like I did something? And that's when she drops it. She cheated on me 3 months ago. Says it was a one-time thing. A mistake she didn't know how to tell me about. And when her family started noticing she was acting weird, like distant with me, spending nights at her friend's house, stuff like that, she panicked. Didn't want to admit she'd screwed up big time, so she told them she was scared of me, that I had anger issues, and that she didn't know how to leave me. Not only did she cheat, not only did she lie, she let her whole family think I was some abusive jerk who was scaring her into staying. I got home and packed a bag right then and there. Didn't even argue with her. Just threw some clothes in a duffel bag and went back to my brother's. Didn't even want to see her face. Didn't want to hear the excuses and the crocodile tears. She's been texting me non-stop ever since. Paragraphs, apologies, begging to talk, saying she didn't mean for it to go this far, promising everything will be okay if I just come home, that she'll talk to her family. Yeah, like that's the only problem. You can't make me out to be some violent psycho and then cry about the fallout, not to mention the cheating, which was already bad enough on its own. I've been thinking about all of this, how I tried to be the best husband I could be, how much time, energy, and love I put into this marriage, and she just threw it all away because she couldn't keep her legs closed, and she couldn't own up to it. The cheating was already a death sentence for us, I know that, but lying to everyone and painting me as dangerous just to cover her own ass is disturbing. This is divorce-worthy, at the very least, and I don't know what else I can do. Part of me is still sitting here stunned, thinking this is my life right now. Anyway, I don't really know what I'm looking for here. Advice, support, maybe just someone to tell me I'm not crazy for thinking this is unforgivable, because it sure as hell feels unforgivable to me. Before continuing, don't forget to subscribe. New stories every day. Update 1. It's been a few days since everything blew up, and I figured I'd leave an update. After I left and started staying at my brother's, I went full radio silence with my wife. Needed some space to breathe and clear my head without her manipulation clouding my judgment. Well, apparently, the ignoring thing didn't sit too well with her, because 2 nights ago, she just shows up at my brother's house like a goddamn lunatic. It was around 8 p.m. I was upstairs in the guest room, just chilling on my phone, when I hear the doorbell ring like 5 times in a row. Then I hear my brother yelling for me to come downstairs because he said my cheating wife was laying siege to the house. I go down, and there she is, standing on the porch. She's screaming that she needs to talk to me, that she made a mistake, and she doesn't want to lose me, and all the other crap you'd expect to hear when someone's a terrible person for cheating on you, but is desperate for you to forgive them. My brother is standing there with the door barely cracked open, basically telling her to get off his property before he calls the cops. Dude wasn't playing. He was already pretty pissed about what happened at the cookout, and after finding out about what she did, he was more protective of me than ever. Meanwhile, she's outside losing her mind, saying she only told her family I was angry because she was scared they'd turn on her if they knew she cheated. She kept repeating it. I panicked. Even if I forgave that, there's still the cheating to consider, so I'm going upstream. She's making it sound like the only issue was the lie to her family, but that was only the dorsal fin poking through the water. Underneath, there was a shark with the sharpest teeth imaginable, which was the cheating itself. At one point, she even tries to barge into the house. My brother physically blocked the door and straight up told her if she wasn't gone in 30 seconds, he was calling the cops. Finally, she takes off, crying and muttering to herself, and walks down the street to her car. The whole thing lasted like 20 or 30 minutes, but it felt like hours. After she left, I was furious. How dare she show up playing the victim after everything she'd done? Like she was entitled to even 5 minutes of my time after trying to destroy my life and my reputation. And just when I thought the drama was done for the night, my phone starts blowing up again. First, it was her mom. Apparently, they knew the truth now, but she was trying to defend her daughter. Shortly after, her brother texted me saying he was wrong about me at the cookout, but that I should try to talk to her and work things out. I don't know if she's told them about the cheating or if they're just defending her because she's family, but it's far from my concern what her family thinks. Mine is on my side, and that's what matters. It's not like I was planning on keeping in touch with her family after the divorce anyway. The next morning, after all the texts, I called a divorce lawyer, not just for a consultation, but for an actual meeting. I want this to be official. None of this let's separate, think about it, and do couples therapy to find a way to make me the guilty party. No, screw that. I'm filing for divorce and getting this over with already. Might be a lawsuit on the horizon too, since she told a lot of people I'm a wife beater. I spent a lot of damn years with this woman, and this is how she repays me. Not only did she screw me over, but she tried to ruin me further. Well, she messed with the wrong guy, just like I messed with the wrong wife. I'm not going to roll over and take it. I'm not staying quiet. Divorce lawyers retained. Papers are being drawn up as we speak. Well, not literally, but you get the idea. Not answering her calls, not reading her texts. As far as I'm concerned, she's already my ex. And you know what? It feels good. It feels damn good. Update 2. A couple of days after I posted my last update, I was still at my brother's. I was trying to figure out my next steps, mostly how I was going to handle the divorce, when I got an unexpected text from someone I barely knew. A coworker of my wife's. We'll call her Marcy. I hadn't even had a close relationship with Marcy before. I knew her from a company Christmas party, that was it. So when she texted me, I got super suspicious. I thought maybe it was a setup to make me look worse somehow. But no, Marcy turned out to be the real MVP. She told me she felt incredibly guilty because she knew what was going on and thought I deserved to know the truth. Apparently, the guy my wife cheated on me with, her coworker, wasn't just a one-night stand like she tried to make me believe when she finally told me about the cheating. They'd been seeing each other for months. She told me everyone at her work knew. Marcy said the guy, let's call him Randall, because of course his name had to be something like Randall, was bragging about it at their last work party. Said my wife was trapped in a controlling marriage and he was helping her find happiness again. Marcy also confessed that she was doing it because she'd had problems with my wife at work. But I didn't care if she had ulterior motives, it worked for me. I didn't find it weird either. If she was able to manipulate her entire family to cover up an affair, I don't doubt she's been pulling similar stunts at her job to get ahead. I would be surprised if there were not more Marcys around. The controlling marriage thing is a complete fantasy. I barely had the energy to argue with her half the time, let alone control her. I worked long hours, paid the bills, gave her space to be with her friends whenever she wanted. The only things I ever asked for were respect and honesty. Apparently, that was too much. So I got to work. Marcy sent me screenshots, messages between her and my wife where she's gushing about the sneaking around, about how she's living two lives. She had screenshots of Randall bragging about how easy it was because my wife was telling him I never paid any attention to her. The second I had that in my hands, I wasn't even angry anymore. I was calm, focused, like I had a mission now. I made a huge group text, added her parents, her brother, cousins, aunts, even some family friends who'd been at the cookout. Anyone who gave me a dirty look or called me a coward over the last few days went straight into that text thread. And then I laid it all out, everything. Everything she said about me was a straight-up lie to cover up the fact that she'd been cheating on me for months with some random coworker. And I did it with all the proof I now had. I wanted there to be zero doubt. It didn't take long. About an hour later, her brother calls me. The same dude who shoved me and tried to fight me at the cookout. I almost didn't answer, but curiosity got the best of me. First thing he said was an apology, a real one. Said he was so sorry for believing her lies and for getting physical with me. Said he felt like an idiot for defending her and attacking me without knowing the whole story. Then her mom texted me a massive paragraph about how ashamed she was of her daughter, how she couldn't believe the person she'd become, and how sorry she was for believing the worst about me. Word must have spread fast because her cousins started unfriending her on Facebook. A few even sent me private messages apologizing for how they'd treated me at the cookout, saying they had no idea what was really going on. My soon-to-be ex-wife, however, was getting absolutely ripped apart in the group text. Her mom and brother were blowing up the thread, demanding she explain herself, asking her why she'd done all this. The last message I saw before I muted the group was her brother telling her she owed me more than an apology. I didn't have to lift a finger after that. Her own lies came back and did all the work for me. She tried calling me after the group chat imploded. Blocked her number, blocked her on social media. Got my divorce lawyer handling the paperwork full steam ahead. So yeah, that's where we are now. She's basically what I was to her family at the cookout. News is spreading among her friends too. I'm hearing whispers of her perfect little life of lies crumbling piece by piece. Couldn't have happened to a more deserving person. Update 3. After her whole family turned on her, after I dropped those screenshots and proof, and everyone started dragging her, she didn't apologize. Nope, she changed tactics like a damn NASCAR driver. Next thing I know, she's spinning a new narrative. She was going around saying I was emotionally neglectful and that's why she made bad decisions. So she felt trapped and alone and had to cheat. Worth mentioning, she never, ever said any of this during the years we were together. Not once. At first, I thought maybe some gullible people would buy that story. Maybe some of her friends who only heard her side. But nah, not so much. Like, cheating kind of makes you a lot less believable. Apparently, She posted something on social media about it, but it wasn't going her way. One of her old friends literally commented, "Girl, you lied about abuse, quit the BS and own your mistake." Pure gold. I wish I could print that comment out and frame it on my wall. Some people hang paintings of boats or horses. I'll take a comment of my ex-wife getting roasted in the comments section. Her own aunt, who used to be super close with her, messaged me out of the blue, straight up told me, "You deserve better. I'm sorry you got stuck with this one. She's not representative of us, and we are ashamed she was ever." Apparently, my wife tried to stay at her aunt's house after practically being kicked out of her parents'. But her aunt told her, no way. Told her she needed to fix her own life because no one was going to play along with her crap anymore. Even the makeup work with her parents wasn't going much better. Her mom told her she needed to get her act together, and that she was embarrassed that she shouldn't even think about showing up at church. Not like they're trying to hide it. Everyone knows by now. Yeah, they know she screwed up. She tried calling me again, by the way, using a new number. And even though I didn't answer, I was pretty sure it was her. Then she confirmed it with a super long text about how we both made mistakes and relationships are complicated and how she still loved me deep down. I'd like to know what my mistakes were, but I would have had to answer. She also said that no one's perfect, so I shouldn't act like I am. Never said I was. But forgetting to grab something on the way home from work or forgetting to unload the dishwasher is a far cry from what she pulled. I made sure to include all of this in the divorce papers too. My lawyer was all over it. Added notes about her false abuse accusations, the emotional distress, the whole shebang. Figured it might be useful if she tried to pull something stupid like asking for alimony or trying to get at my money. I also heard, through the grapevine, that her work situation isn't so great either. Apparently, there's a lot of stuff she's messed up there, and Marcy is capitalizing on it. They found out in HR that she was having an affair with a coworker, who's also married, by the way. Because of course, why not add another layer of crap to the cake? Now she's under review. Not confirmed if she's getting fired, but I heard she's on some kind of probationary period, and she's been complaining online about how toxic her job is and how they're targeting her because she's a woman. No, honey, they're targeting you because you can't keep your legs or your lies straight. Meanwhile, I'm just keeping my head down, finalizing the divorce, working. Gotta get my life back into a routine after a few rough weeks. Every now and then, I get a third-hand update about how she's doing. And yeah, it's a little vindictive, but I'm not going to pretend it doesn't feel a little good. The next update will probably be with the divorce finalized because I'm feeling slightly optimistic this is going to get wrapped up quick. Update 4. Divorce got finalized a couple of days ago. A lot quicker than even my optimistic self thought. But it makes sense. No kids, no shared mortgage, nothing tying us together long term. The only thing we had in common was the lease on the apartment, which was only in my name, so I got to keep it without even arguing. She tried to make a case for some relocation money during mediation, acting like she was being displaced or something. But my lawyer shut that down like a goddamn hammer to a grape. Once we laid out all the crap she pulled, her lawyer basically gave up and told her there was no point in fighting it. She walked out of that process looking like she'd been kicked in the teeth. The second I signed the papers, I was out, even though she wanted to have a conversation before. Told her, I got stuff to do, good luck with your life. Her family is still not really talking to her, especially her mom. Apparently, she's been telling people at her church that she's praying for her daughter to regain her decency. It's wild. They aren't hiding it at church. She doesn't try to cover it up. Quite the opposite. As for her job, no, she didn't get fired outright, but karma didn't let her off easy either. She was put on some kind of probationary period that could last for months and got a huge write-up on her record. And from what Marcy told me, she's basically a pariah at the office now. No promotions, no special projects, just clock in, clock out, keep your head down, and hope no one gives you a reason to get fired. She hasn't told me, but I have the feeling Marcy is working on one. Best of all, the dude she cheated on me with dropped her like a sack of potatoes the second everything blew up. From what I heard, he ghosted her a week after the group texts went out, just stopped responding, blocked her on everything. At the office they only talk if it's strictly professional, no pleasantries or anything. Didn't even have the balls to break up with her face to face. I'm back in the apartment. Cleaned the entire place top to bottom. Got rid of anything that even remotely smelled like her. New furniture, new bedding. Hell, I even bought a new damn coffee maker. A little extreme, but it's like a fresh start. I would have changed apartments, but I like this one, and I wasn't going to uproot my life because of her. I know, at least, she didn't bring her friend here, because reception would have told me. As for my career, I'm doing well. Busted my ass for years to build something good, and now that I'm not being dragged down by her drama, it's paying off. Might even take a vacation this year. Honestly, I just need to vent a little here. The more I think about all of this, the more pathetic it seems. Not just what she did, but the fact that I spent so long trying to make something work that was already dead long before I realized it. And the craziest part is, if none of this had blown up, she would have just kept going, lying to my face every day, smiling at me from across the table, letting me build a life around someone who couldn't even give me basic respect. It's not just the cheating. It's the lying, the gaslighting, the complete lack of guilt until she got caught. She didn't care about me. She cared about getting away with it. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend I'm the perfect dude either. I had my faults, we had fights, we had rough patches. But never once did I make her feel unsafe. Never once did I humiliate her. Never once did I throw our relationship away because I was bored or needed attention. It still blows my mind how easily she let it all go. At the end of the day, people show you who they are. Sometimes you just don't want to see it. I wasn't going to believe she was better than this, smarter than this, loyal enough to be honest when things started falling apart, but she wasn't. And now I'm the one cleaning up the mess she made while she gets to play the victim. But she can keep playing all she wants as long as she pays me in the lawsuit that's still pending against her. As long as she pays for telling everyone what she said about me, she can victimize herself all she wants. It's not like it's doing her any good. Update 5. Bringing you an update courtesy of Marcy this time, who has been working on more karma for my ex-wife. None of this is my doing, as I haven't been involved. I'm not saying this because I don't want to be associated with it, but because I don't want to take credit. I have also had a small victory on my end with the lawsuit we had against her, but it pales in comparison to the other. So, let's start with that. We won the suit. It took a lot longer than the divorce, and stuff like that tends to be a little harder to settle. But it's done, the judge ruled, and my ex has paid $2,500. It wasn't about the $2,500, which isn't a huge amount, but the satisfaction of knowing the person who wronged you has to pay up. Besides, $2,500 for a couple of bad hours at a cookout is a steal. My job doesn't pay me that for 2 hours. Let's get into what the absolute MVP Marcy did, because I won't deny that it has brought me some satisfaction that someone as deceitful as my ex-wife is getting what she deserves. Until what I told you in my previous update, my ex was on probation at work and just needed an excuse to have herself and her belongings sent to the street. And Marcy was looking for exactly that. Well, she got it after putting in the work. In part, I feel sorry for someone having Marcy as an enemy. But I wasn't going to believe that I was special enough that my ex only cheated on and lied to me and me alone. She made plenty of enemies in the workplace. People who lie don't only lie in one area of their lives. Marcy found some lies and deceit committed against a client, informed the client, who complained to the company, and my ex was fired without any compensation. I think about the infidelity thing, and I don't want to give people advice about it. But cheating at work is a terrible idea. Because if you're discovered, and I hope you are, you're going to lose a lot of things. My ex-wife didn't lose her job for that alone, but it came very close. And while Marcy has taken this very personally, I know from her that she wasn't the only one itching to have her sent to the street, where Marcy claims she belongs. But she was the most proactive in that respect. And that's it. I can't promise this will be my last update, because I don't know if Marcy has calmed down her thirst for revenge. I am. But Marcy makes it sound like my ex slept with her high school sweetheart. I'm not judging her, but I can't deny that she calls me some weekends, out of the blue, to say, "Hey up, you won't believe what I just did to your ex-wife." I just hope it isn't anything illegal. No, "Hey up, I need to bury something in the woods at 4 a.m. kind of calls, just stuff like, "I subscribed your ex to a catalog of giraffe coats, just kidding, of course." Or so I hope. I think. Thanks so much for sticking with me through this whole thing. Even though I can joke about it now, it was pretty rough in those first few posts, and having people in my corner made it easier.